Okay, are you ready for another out of time meeting? And so everything to do with spiritual healing, with out of time miraculous occurrences. Um, Certainly am I happy to be here to look with you and to step in with you into new experiences. I have heard that the past is gone. I've heard that none of this is so. And here we are, meeting in this whole brand new place that has no association with anything anymore. It is all gone. It's gone. This is our brand new place where we can meet, and this is the only place where you in fact can communicate and receive the miraculous. So all past is gone. All these ideas are just over. It's all gone. Just what you thought a minute ago is already gone. All of it is gone. None of this is so. It's all over. It's all over. And here you are. So this is our starting point today. And I actually would love to say, or maybe I should tell you something about today. So today is coming from the idea of the miraculous. We have two sessions coming up about the miraculous, and not only about it, but giving ourselves, putting ourselves in the place to receive that, to receive the miraculous. So this time it is with related to the article that I sent you, and of course your own meditation experiment that you did, where you touch your, say, third eye, and during your meditation, at least for some time, and then see what happens if you focus your attention to it. So that's what we do, say, later on. But what I sent you as an article, you probably have read it before, maybe, and otherwise it just opens up a new way to look at least at your body, but it can even take you further. So that's another thing that we do. So next week, in the second part of this miraculous out of time meeting, I will send you this, of course. We have another out of time visitor coming to us, and this is actually two of them. One might still be around, I don't know exactly, but this is the teachings of Gurdjieff, and Uspensky was his student, and he wrote a book in search of the miraculous, and that's something that we're going to use next week too. But today is the natural process of miraculous healing, and you can always say, you can always be inspired for a new occurrence in that. So that's so great. So it's brand new in that sense. So to start this, because now I told you what we're going to do, even though that doesn't mean anything, in that sense you're going to find out what it means for you, and that's the only thing that really matters. So the next step is coming to this miraculous place, in fact, or the place in yourself where you can receive this. And that sounds so easy to just close your eyes and do it and become quiet or something. And so that's a part of it, but it's not all of it. So how are we doing that today? So I always have to kind of get to that place with you in order to start it. So before we started this session, we already started to communicate by having this music that we recognize, and we recognize each other. It was a moment already of out of time. So the recognition of each other, because of you letting go of your ideas about everything and just being still and receiving this for yourself, is everything, because whatever you think about this world and your life and your existence, as we talk about this a lot, It's like the idea of existence or your human life. You think that you can communicate with other people, and I'm actually telling you, no, you can't. Like, there's absolutely no communication going on. And you can try to communicate, sure, but you know it as well as I do that communication, in fact, needs to be like whole in order to have any meaning. Otherwise, it's a fragmented communication. So that's like, yeah, trying to put into words what love is. And that would be the same idea. And you can't. But you can experience it. In your experience of love, which is what you are, you start to communicate literally with everything and everyone. So that's the difference then. It's like the fact that there's literally no communication going on here is good to know. So don't even try it, I would say. So in order for us to communicate, we need to be at a certain place, and this is exactly the place where miraculous occurrences are like made for or are happening. In any other place they don't. So what is the context, or what is the weight, or what am I actually talking about here? What am I talking about here? I'm actually trying to let you feel that a little bit. And like seeing that there's no communication here, it must be happening within you. So it's like there's only one thing going on, and there's nothing outside of you that's determining that. So all comes from you. You are in the center of this. And recognizing that, you have a possibility to experience that, to experience the wholeness of you, seeing that reflected in everything and feeling the connection with everything. So this is the same as experiencing, like recognizing. I love this expression, and I love to experience it too. It's like recognizing my best friend in everyone. Like, why would I not forgive anyone if I recognize my best friend in everyone? So this kind of place am I talking about. If I recognize myself in who I am, like in the totality of who I am, that has nothing to do with my definition of myself, but it's just an experience which I feel that, which I suddenly it becomes clear, yes, that's the thing that's going on. I can, of course, recognize myself, so to speak, in you too, because I see that you're, say, a whole part of me. So recognizing my dearest friend in everyone, I love that. I love that. So if I don't recognize that, if I think that somebody is opposing me, I already have a conflict, and I focus my mind on the conflict, and I maybe even try to solve the conflict with the other guy. So we did that a lot, and now I'm pulling myself back out of it. Like, no, that's not the way. Recognizing the loveliness, my dearest friend, of my dearest friend in everyone. Yeah, where's forgiveness then? It's gone. It's not even necessary, because I already recognize. So this is also essential in the miraculous healing that we're talking about, in the spiritual healing that we're teaching ourselves, or that we're practicing with. I made that clear. And so coming then deeper inside yourself, recognizing, like, here I am, this is it, I'm present here. I'm present here. I don't know what that's supposed to mean or what I'm supposed to do with that, but I'm staying right here. Now what is occurring with you when you feel that, when you come there? Is there something happening? Is that a place that is totally familiar to you? Great. If it's a new place, or you never felt it this way, great. Doesn't matter. It's great. Or maybe you don't feel like doing that at all. You'll see. You'll see. You're going to be tempted to go into that. You're going to be, it will be attractive in a moment. So don't push it. Okay, so now we're getting there. We're getting there. So what I'm going to do now is I put down 3 miraculous expressions, miracle principles. I put 3 of them in a kind of a video, and I want to show you that. So okay, so you see the idea of a miraculous state of mind. Like, what is a miraculous state of mind? So how can you perceive a miraculous occurrence? How can you do that? And see, that's something that we discover along this way, that we practice, and that we having to allow ourselves into. That is the amazing occurrence. So, and then it's like, okay, so what is in the way? This is maybe a good question. What is in the way of experiencing that? Like, why does that seem so hard sometimes? Why does it seem so hard to experience a moment of communication, of your heart opening, of direct communication with God? Because that's supposed to be the most natural thing. Why not just experience a natural occurrence, which is the communication that is totally a part of you. And here it says too, in one of the miracle principles, even without the awareness of the miracle worker himself, like it doesn't even matter if you are aware of it or not. But what can possibly be the obstacle in order to experience this? This is a very good question. You know, what is the obstacle? And you've been looking for that. You've been looking for the obstacle that seems to be in the way of to come to this experience. Like you do that all the time. You look for it. Like, what is in the way? What is actually going on? Why am I not feeling this, or why am I not feeling that? Why do I still see my symptoms, or physical symptoms of disease? Why? Or why am I still not in an experience of abundance? Why do I always seem to be surviving? See, these are all very legitimate questions, in the sense of, okay, I'm doing my practice. I think I do everything I need. And now what? See, and this is great. So you have a biblical reference that comes to mind now, the rich young man who comes to Jesus, and he's really studying like his butt off, so to speak. He's studying, he's doing everything he can to do everything right. You know, he wants to do nothing but the thing right. He wants to do exactly what Jesus tells him, and he's a real, say, wholehearted follower. He He doesn't know what else to do. And then Jesus tells him to sell everything and give it to the poor. And after that he disappears. It's like, apparently all my investments, everything that I hold on to, everything that I think that I am, needs to go. It needs to get out of the way for an instant in order for me to experience something else. So this is then really the thing. So what is in the way? Me, my idea about myself. Like, I'm just in my own way to experience the perfect love of God. So how do you get yourself out of the way? How do I get myself out of the way? Like, I'm so right in the middle of it. How can I get myself out of the way? That would be great. So where can I find that? See, it is really like that in our transformational process. Like, you look for everything. You think that your way of thinking is in the way. You think that this is in the way. No, it's you. You are in the way. You're in the way. So get rid of yourself, so to speak. Get rid of all the ideas that you associate with what you think you are, all the misidentification, and everything else too. That's the thing. All the things that you think that you do so well need to go too. It's like, no, that has nothing to do with it either. So just for you to come to a miraculous experience, just for you to experience a miracle that is given to you to experience, say, the love of God. That's all that needs to happen. But then, we said the other day, you have something going on like mental retardation. It's in the way. It's like, what are you talking about? What do I need to get out of the way? And so what of me needs to get out of the way? Then no, you know exactly what I mean. So this is one of the ways to resist it. It's like to think that you heard it, but then you're actually not picking it up and applying it to yourself, but throwing it into into chaos, into a little fog, and say like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I must not understand it. It's like, no, the thing is, you totally know what I'm talking about and where this has to do with. You need to get out of the way. All my ideas, all my habits, all my things that I think that I am need to just be put aside for just a moment to experience something else. Otherwise, I will not experience it. See, that's going to be, say, this is going to be the message to you in all ways that come through whoever book we pick up that has to do with transformational studies, so to speak, with transformational occurrences. Like, all will tell you the same, because it just isn't any different. So miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind. Then it's natural. Like, if I get out of the way, of course, suddenly there's light coming into my awareness. Suddenly there is something happening that I didn't see coming, but is totally helpful, or say confirms the beautiful communication that is. So, for instance, recognizing your dearest friend in everyone. Like, that's a good one to take with you, right? Like, recognizing your dearest friend in everyone. What is the occurrence that happened? It doesn't matter, it's over. Whatever you perceived, it's over, it's gone, it's not here anymore. So that cannot be in the way. You trying to hold on to it, okay, sure, that can be in the way, but now you learn, no, I'm going to, in order for me to experience a miraculous healing, a miraculous occurrence for myself, wherein I literally allow my whole situation, so to speak, to shift, my whole idea of myself goes out of the door. Now I'm open to experience a miracle, to enter into a miraculous occurrence. to actually experience real communication with a totally different quality than the frequency I'm so familiar with called my human existence. Okay, so that is one part of the story. So then you discovered in the, say, in the PDF I sent you to the participants here, like you discovered that your body that you look at, that you have ideas about, thinking that you maybe can get old and all that. It's like you actually discovered that your skeleton is only 3 months old. It's every 90 days you have a whole new skeleton. Did you know that? Does it change your idea about how your body functions and how your body is? Like that is new in your experience of yourself. Like, oh my God! So that means that everything can also shift and change because of the temporary, the ephemeral part of it. Like it's all very temporal. It exchanges. It's not solid as I think it is. No, it changes all the time, and that means that I can hold on to thinking that I have something with it, or I can hold on to it thinking that I'm on a timeline and experiencing that I'm getting older and that everything is moving in the way that I think old people do. Of course, I can have that scenario in my mind and see it reflected in every step that I take. But it is not really what is occurring. It's not really what is happening. So in your little drama scenario, in your dream, you can experience it that way, and you have a free will to do that. But you can also allow yourself the space for yourself to get your ideas out of the way and experience something new. So this is where we're talking about now. So and that new way of looking at yourself is not composed by you any longer. So that's going to be revealed to you what that is and how that is occurring. This is also essential. So they're really getting somewhere actually with the process, even in these classes that we have right now. It's like we're actually coming somewhere. Something is really shifting and changing in that, and you might feel that too. It's like now it's just this one point, in fact, where we talk from or want to experience, where we direct ourselves to, not knowing exactly how that is looking, and maybe it's a step of total uncertainty, but you know that you will take it. And when I say like getting yourself out of the way, that can be quite disturbing. It can be quite discombobulating, because that what was familiar to you in the continuity of the idea of yourself suddenly breaks, suddenly does not function. It's like, no, the wheels were turning, but now suddenly they stand still. They cannot go any further. So you might experience that now too in your own subjective experience of yourself. You're actually suddenly the wheels don't turn anymore. You cannot go further with the way that you were used to. So this is great. This is great. So going through that, speaking from myself, going through that process, it is uncertain. You can have a fear episode. You can freak out a little bit, so to speak. That's perfectly all right, because you're actually taking a leap. You step into the uncertainty of the moment, and the uncertainty being you can't define any longer what will occur. And that might be frightening. Not that you ever could, but you had the idea that you had some kind of control over your life. And now suddenly that seems to dissipate. It dissolves. Well, the invitation then now today is then to stay with that, to let that happen, and like not trying to control it. No, you can be completely overwhelmed with it. It's all right. So it's a step into, yeah, uncertainty, as I say. It's a step into, yeah, no idea how this is, but I'm here and just yeah, continuing on the path. So these shifts in your awareness are essential to come to a, say to move on in this path, to come to the place where you actually can experience the miraculous. So that's my little introduction now. So the other part that I well, you actually read the PDF probably, but then you did the practice, maybe, hopefully. See, what I'm actually doing here is in this class, I mean, is like, why not getting in touch with different ways of experiencing yourself? So the meditation with the focus on the third eye can be really helpful to have a new experience of yourself. And I'm curious how this is for you. And so there are more of these, you can call them techniques, that can actually bring you a little bit further. Just say expanding the experiences that you have. There's nothing wrong with that and using that. And so for next week I will tell you another one, which is also great and very yeah. When I apply all this, like it was taught to me at a certain point, and I lost using it. I lost the say the habit of using it, and now it came back to me. Now when I start to apply it, I think it's so lovely, and yeah, it really opens something up now. Why is that? Because since everything is changing, and so are you, your experiences can change too. So that means that something that didn't work, maybe, or did already work in the past, but suddenly is in your awareness again to use. You apply it and use it and have a new experience of it, because you're open to receive that. So of course you know this, but it's great to be aware of it, and that's why I share it. So that is one thing. And yeah, that maybe you have other ways that you suddenly start to use too, that you never did before, or that you did some time ago, that appears to be like maybe 10 years ago, whatever. And suddenly it starts to work for you in such a way that you never expected, because your mind is literally changing. Yeah, like you're undergoing a transformation, so nothing stays the same. And you can have new experiences all the time. And I love that. I love that. It's a real discovery for me too. It's like, it's a real discovery to come to certain things again, and yeah, seeing how well that works, or how nice it is to disappear into my third eye and go into the universe. Wow, great. Whatever, whatever ways. The method is, of course, there's no really a technique or a method, but it's all based on possibilities. Like, it can just help you in a moment to expand in your awareness. And that's why I offer it. So next week there will be another one. That's so great. I love it. I love it. I'm not going to say anything about it. So I'm making you really curious. Great. So where are we now? See, in the way that you come to this class, I see that there's a shift too, that everything is different all the time. So when you enter into a class or enter into a place where other so-called other people are, if you if you come to yourself first, then everything is so different. If you say are focused on your inner communication, everything will look so different. And I love to be present like that. Like I love to be aware that I can apply and use that all the time. Because in fact, that is the place where it's the only possibility of communication. That's why it's so great. So if you have that right, like we shared in the miracle principles too, it extends to everyone. Whether you are experiencing that it works or not, even that doesn't matter. And these spiritual healing principles we know from Joel, for instance, too. He always says too, like you have to receive this first for yourself in order to extend it or to heal. And so that's the practice that we do here too. It's like entering into a room, entering into a class like this. Come to yourself first before you say anything, or having a healing appointment. Come to yourself first, okay? Sinking into yourself, coming to the place where you start to communicate. It takes off from there. It's literally like everything is opening up from that point on. So it can be a real blast to experience that together. So that's so great. And I just mention everything because of the fact that this is a class to put this all together so that it becomes so close to you. Okay. So I'm going to so thank you everyone for listening, and I hope to see you soon.